All right, Drika.
We're back.
We here full effect, y'all. We is speaking about wealth, taxes, anything to create for you to be a better version of yourself and your business. So, Drika, thank you again so much. Even though we had some technical difficulties,
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Life be lifing.
Don't it? So we can get back to it. I know we was talking about liability taxes and people not understanding the concept of it and how important it is to pay it early and not in those 3 months.
Right. So, all right. So that's where a lot of people get confused when it's time to do, what is it called? Extensions and, oh, I need to do an extension. If you are getting a refund, you never need to file an extension, right? Because you're not getting penalized. It's only the people that owe. So we need to pay attention to, one, our business structure, two, how we're paying our employees, because if I'm paying you under the table, if I'm paying you Cash App, if I'm paying you on Zelle, if I'm paying all of you all these ways and not having a payment processor, then that's going to fall on you as the employer, right? So thinking about, for instance, like school bus drivers, they mostly get 1099. So which means at the end of the year, they're not receiving a W-2. They didn't pay taxes all year. They're filing the income that they receive. So you have to make sure that you're filing your taxes the proper way. If you are spending money out of your own pocket as a 1099 contractor, that's a great thing for you when it comes to taxes. It may not be a great thing so much when it comes to you receiving your money, but when it comes to you paying your taxes, you have to pay attention that you're not receiving a W-2 anymore. You're now a contract employee. So you have to pay attention to that. Especially another thing is, as an employer, dealing with your structure, you have to make sure that you're paying quarterly taxes. Yes. And state level taxes if you sell a product. If you have a product-based business, you're paying taxes to your state every single year. Every single month. And you're paying federal taxes every single year. So those are the three levels of legislation when it comes to taxes. Definitely quarterly, monthly, and federal for state. Federal for annual.
So what states do you help people?
I help all states.
Do you?
I help all states. Yes. All they have to do is download our free mobile app, which is Carter Capital PLLC. You'll see my little logos on there on the app. And from the app, you can actually put in your information, upload your documents. You can communicate with our staff. You can book an appointment to have a Zoom meeting like this with myself or any of my staff that are trained by me. I literally run my entire training program based from either at my office, at my home, wherever I am. Literally, I could be at the park. I'm going to pull out that laptop, that hotspot, and get to it, because I just feel like your team is only strong as your weakest partner, right? So if I have any weak links, then that can bring the whole team down. So I always have to make sure that I'm pushing strength, pushing wealth behind my team. But definitely download the mobile app if you're interested in any of our services.
Wow, that is amazing. And how long have you been in the business helping individuals?
I've been doing it for 9 years. This is coming up on my 10th year this year.
Wow. So how could you help someone as far as them building wealth with their business? Because, you know, when you're a self-made business owner, you don't have retirement. You don't have all the benefits that you will get as far as working for a company.
So the first thing I look at is the type of business it is. The second thing that I look at is what's the end goal, right? Because I already told you earlier, as small businesses or entrepreneurs, we start off in a hustle mentality. So when you hustling, you're not thinking CEO. You just thinking, I'm taking everybody, I'm marketing to everybody, I'm branding myself to everybody, and I'm not niching down. I don't know what my focal products are. I don't know what my high ticket items are versus my low ticket items are. I don't know if I'm doing e-commerce or doing service. I'm doing a little bit of both. I really don't want to be doing any of these things, right? And you're just going in whatever direction your business is pulling you in. And that's not what you want to do as an entrepreneur. So what I do in my mentorship program, I bring you all the way back to start. And we go through with a business plan, because I think another thing is we fail as business owners as starting a business and not having a business plan. We do not have business plans. We think it takes too long, but it literally gives you the plan on running your business, right? So I start with the business plan, then I start with the marketing piece, and then I start with the funding, and we continue to grow together, right? So even if it's in a certain amount of weeks that we're working together, or if it's 1 year, I want you to be able to see your growth as a not only just a business, but as a business owner. I want you to be able to separate yourself. I want you to say, this is Yvette, but this is Life Her Podcast, right? I want you to be able to say these are two different things, right? I might be a brand, but I'm not Life Her Podcast. That is a brand that I operate. That is a brand that I'm the CEO of, right? I want you to be able to separate the two. And so I help people in that way. I connect them with banks so they can get funding, so they can get bank accounts and become a bankable business, right? Showing the transactions that you need to be qualified for the next level of funding, showing the bank statements and the transactions that you need to get grants if you're looking for grants. I also have like a grants playbook that literally has templates inside of it. It gives you a grant list inside of it, tells you exactly what the grants ask for. So just looking through that and taking your time. A lot of people just want this microwave wealth. They want it to be overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to build it, right? And a lot of times too, another thing is, as business owners, we don't budget. And so we're not budgeting our way to wealth. We're trying to wake up tomorrow and be wealthy, and then we wind up at a deficit, right? We're looking at the accounts like, damn, I had 10,000 yesterday. How I'm only at 2,000? Well, I had 100,000 yesterday. How am I at 20,000? Right? So you have to look at what you're doing, what your habits are, because whatever you do personally is going to go over into your professional life. If you're already a bad spender, if you're already a check the check person in your personal life, you're going to be the same way in your business. And then you're going to be looking for the next out. Oh, I hope PPP come back around. Oh, I hope EIDL come back around. I hope they drop some more money on us. But guess what? Nobody is coming to save you. You have to think about what is your next move? How are you going to pivot in your business? What are your slow seasons? So you know that, you know how they say that the ant and the grasshopper, and they put some money on the side, put some food on the side. What you're going to do in your slow season, right? Because nothing matters that happen in your fast season if you cannot carry over through the slow season or through the winter or through the months when you're not having sales or you're not having all of these people jumping in your inbox for the next deal that you have going on, right? What are your other products and streams in your business? We have to think about that piece, right? We can't just listen, let me tell you my mistake that I made. Before I was 100% into Carter Capital, I had a bakery, right? And I was self-taught. I was a self-taught baker. I did not go to school for cooking, any of that, right? I just knew how to cook. And I'm from New Orleans, so we cook good food, period. We got the best food. All give somebody else.
Definitely.
So I just started cooking, right? And it was like my ends meet thing, right? I was just like, okay, it's booming, so I'm working on this. And I still was in the hustle mindset. So I had my taxes going. I had my bakery going. I got a building. I started a whole eatery and all of that. Hire people, me and my business partners, we rolled it. And I was like, okay, I really don't want to be materially invested to make my money anymore. So I had to find a plan to pivot 100% into Carter Capital, right? So you can have a few different things going on. Even if they're doing well, even if their business is successful, it's okay to close one thing down to focus more on another thing. And I think that we don't do that enough. I think we just, oh no, I have too much pride. I'm not closing my business. What people gonna think? What people gonna say? Who am I letting down? Listen, you letting yourself down every day that you're not following your dreams and putting 100% in every single day.
Yeah, that is so true because, when you start something and all that, some people be like, oh gosh, she ain't last doing that. I knew that, and it's a lot of, most of the mindset of being a business owner is not caring what people say.
Yes, it's not.
To a certain extent when you have failures. And a lot of people need to understand when you fail in your business, pay attention to what you failed in so you won't make that same mistake ever again. But it's normal for people to fail in their business. It's normal when people lose their business. It's just normal. But a lot of
times, okay, just fail forward.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can always pick up into the same business or you could create something new. So when people get in the process of failing in their business, of course you lose your business. What do they have to do with the IRS and their taxes when they come to that point when they're not able to go further on to the next year?
Okay, so you first need to dissolve that business with your state at the state level. The same way you registered your LLC, you will go in and amend and dissolve that business. And then when you go to your tax forms, whatever, depending on what structure your business is, if you have an LLC, single or multi-member, you're going to file a 1040, which goes on a Schedule C. And you will file it normally, file the losses that you had on that business, file the income that you made on that business, and all of the expenses, etc. Any depreciation or any assets that you sold on this business will need to be reported as well. And then that will be the final year that you file taxes on that company, because that EIN number is no longer registered with the IRS because it's dissolved with the state.
Yes. So a lot of times people have a struggle within the first 5 to 10 years owning their business. And a lot of times they put into their own funds and go into their own money. You gotta spend their own money. I'm one of those people that
I was one too. Guess what? I was one too for a very long
Yes, I was one of the people that done it, and I still do it sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, I do. But what are different ways for people to avoid that, as far as them having a business plan, getting funding for their business, or even establishing their personal and business credit to be able to get the things that they need to fund their business?
Okay, so the first few things that you need to know is, when you are looking to get your business funded, it has to be structured properly. I keep saying that because it's literally a matter of, okay, you checking off this box, but you really don't have that, right? So for instance, let's go with a LLC. You have an LLC?
Yes.
So let's use you for example. You have an LLC. Do you have a business phone number, like not a cell phone number, but a toll-free number?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a toll-free number. You got your LLC. Of course, you have an EIN number registered with the IRS. Of course, you have a website, a domain that you own that shows what your business does, your refund policies, procedures, your shipping policies, right? So nobody's not disputing saying, oh, they never shipped my stuff, when your shipping policy clearly says processing time, shipping time, right? They're not reading, but that's not your fault. So we have to have those things in place, because now you're looking for credit. You're looking for somebody to lend you money, but we have to know that you're responsible and reputable, right? So when when the creditors are looking at these businesses that are applying for either business credit or funding, they're going to ask you these questions. And it goes back to having that business plan, number one, because the things that you're going to answer on your grant applications when you're applying for funding is already in your business plan. What is your mission? What is your vision? How are you going to use these funds if we allow you to win these funds? How are you paying taxes on it, right? So literally I give you a budgeting sheet within my grants playbook that tells you how to budget out and map out the money that you're seeking funding for. You cannot go sit down at a bank. I cannot come to Yvette and say, Yvette, I need to borrow $200,000 without a plan on, I'm going to make this $200,000 back within 2 months. I'm going to give you $250,000 for the 200 you gave me within a matter of 4 to 6 months. I have a concrete plan, and I'm breaking it down that I'm going to flip this money, invest in my employees, invest into some guerrilla marketing, invest into some billboards, et cetera, and my return on investment is going to be $800,000. So I'm able to give you interest on top of the $200,000 that you just let me borrow, right? So we have to look at it like that, right? These people don't know us at all. All they're doing is looking up our credentials that we're saying that we have on these applications, right? And if I look in the computer and you saying you made X amount of dollars, and I say, okay, shoot me your bank statements, you should be all good. And I see your bank statements and you have 0 transactions coming in or out of this account, you're not bankable, right? Because you don't have any transactions going on. They're not seeing any income coming in. They're not seeing any payments going out. We don't see any creditors that you owe on here, or, in or out, right? So just thinking about that.
It's Felicia in here. How's she getting
here?
Is she supposed to be in here?
Watching. She's watching.
Oh, she usually have to watch on the out, like on YouTube. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, we can keep going, Felicia. You get VIP.
My bad. But yeah, so basically having all of those things in place, like having your DUNS number that you get from dnb.com, having your bank accounts. I always tell small business owners, even if you're just starting out today, to have 3 accounts per business, right? 2 business checking, 1 business savings. The 2 business checkings, one is going to be for income, one is going to be for expenses. The 1 business savings is for your, like you were saying earlier, 401k, your IRAs, your savings, the investments, the trips that you're planning on going on from your business income, right? The pop-up shops that you're planning on being in, the brunches and networking events that you're planning on going to or participating in. That's what your savings is for, right? So you have to think about, what are you going to do next year? So I know for me, for example, InvestFest, that's something that I have to put in my savings because I know I want to go to InvestFest. I don't want to miss it. Circle of CEOs, I know I don't want to miss it, right? I know I'm not missing Toronto. I'm throwing that, right? So things that I know that I want to be at has to be in my budget. So if I got to miss a couple of Sunday brunches to make this international move for my business, that's what I'm going to do. If I have to put a percentage on the side of anything that I make from this business into my savings, that's what I'm going to do until I get to the level that I understand I can take this out on the side.
Yes, because as far as like being a business owner, I have a daycare center as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, awesome!
So like having that, girl, I mean, it's a lot. That's why
compliance with the daycare. Ooh.
Yes, it's a lot that comes with it, and people don't understand. Like I had about 25 staff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people don't know the ins and outs as far as you doing the groundwork, as far as the finance portion of it.
Right.
That's a lot in liability tax quarterly. And like people don't understand that how tight you have to be, especially in your first 5 to 10 years of running your business. And sometimes you don't even see that income until between those 5 to 10 years.
Listen, I just was telling, I think I was on live really. And I was just telling people, like, I made it here. Like a lot of people that are just coming up or just finding out about me is different because y'all seeing me glow or y'all seeing me on this show and this podcast and this stage and stuff like that. But y'all didn't see all of the years when I was in the library teaching 2 people, or y'all didn't see when I was on Zoom and I had 78 people signed up, or 7 or 8 people joining a Zoom when I'm teaching. And then 78 people calling me mid-tax season saying, hey, I missed training, but can you help me now?
Right.
And I got an office for the clients ready to get their taxes done. But then I have tax preparers that I feel obligated to teach because, of course, they paid me in the past, but they didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? They don't see that. So same thing, similar to your daycare experience. People don't see the lows or, the woes in business. They just see all of the highlights or all of our great moments that we post and we brag on. But we just be fighting with the punches, right?
Girl,
we just keep on moving.
You got to, because you gotta keep things up as far as your marketing and everything, because you are trying to reach that goal where you're going to go, and you're legitimate. You are making progress. You showing it. Your staff is on point. Your business is on point, but you still come through with different complications when you in that, because what I have experienced on a personal level, people will see what you have and compare it to your business, and they don't know how to separate the two. They don't even know that you're still in a process of struggling, but you're trying to keep
every level have a different struggle.
Yes, and it does, because starting a business, it's a beautiful thing to see a person
it is
doing it, making progress and everything, but it's very hurtful. It's in so many ways, because you can have people that you start off with. You can have
that's the subject right there. Go ahead.
Yes, you can have and do everything, but the betrayal comes in, the jealousy comes in so many ways, and people don't like that you're in the spotlight, and it's your business. You have to be in the spotlight. You have to do different. Listen, I could go on and on about so many things when it comes to a business, but if that person was in your shoes, they probably wouldn't be able to do half of the things that you do. would have quit a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things as far as these taxes and keeping everything maintained for your business, it comes with blood, sweat, and tears.
It really does. Those long nights eventually pay off. It paid off for me around. See, this is the thing. You have to know what the payoff is for you,
Yes, you
right?
get
So,
different levels of payoff.
yes. So is the payoff the money, or is the payoff the impact, or is the payoff the professional and the personal growth that you had, on this journey? Like, what is the payoff for you? Because if you're just chasing money, you're never going to be fulfilled. But if you're chasing something way bigger, way stronger, right? If you know this business has potential to be a multi-million or billion or trillion-dollar company, right? That's what you're chasing. You're not chasing the money. You're chasing, I can make this business a trillion, a million, or billion-dollar company and sell it. That's another form of generational wealth that people don't think about, right? When you building a business, they just like, I'm making all this money for me, my family straight. But if you die and nobody in your family knows how to keep the business going, they don't know any of your passwords to get in anything. No one signed on to your account. Nobody, you don't have a will in place. You don't have business insurance. You don't have key person insurance, right? Let's talk real wealth. You don't have a 508. You don't have a nonprofit. You don't have any trust, right? No one is going to be able to carry on this quote unquote legacy that you're building.
Yes.
That is the thing. You have to really think, like, it's not just about a freedom number, but what type of freedom legacy are you building? Are you going to pass this business down to your kids and they're still going to have to be workers of this business? Are they still going to have to go pursue another career because they don't really know how to do this or don't even really want to do this?
Yes. And one of the lucrative things that I've learned in the past, I will say, when pandemic started, what I've learned is not having such a basic life insurance policy, having a whole life insurance policy when you can have a bank of your own side, and for you to be able to have interest with your money going into that bank, and then you will accumulate so much wealth for yourself and your family. If you get sick tomorrow, you have maybe, example, $300,000 of movement for when you are severely sick, and you're able to have those expenses covered because you have paid all of this already. And a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people, they rather spend money on a Louis bag or something like that instead of actually getting this simple insurance policy or paying on a lawyer and everything for you to be able to see everything in the end, for you to be able to do things. So, like, I don't know, it's really sad. Honestly, it's really sad. But however, we have so many people with valuable information like yourself that is teaching people the proper way to actually come through on a business, so they'd be able to see so much and just sit on their tail when they older.
Exactly. The whole reason for us being entrepreneurs is for us to obtain freedom, right?
Yes.
You don't want to work 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 70 years in your business and can never afford to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Exactly. Right? You don't want to work all the way until your dying day and then your business dies with you.
Yes.
You have to really sit down and think and really have that uncomfortable conversation with yourself, have that uncomfortable conversation with your family, and let them know, hey, if this happens to me, knock on wood, God forbid, whatever you got to say, right? But if this happens to me, I want things to be in place. This is how I want things to go. This is how I want my money to be distributed to my children, my spouse, my parents, whomever you're leaving your money to, right? This is who I want to be in charge of my business. If they're not ready or qualified, I want them to hire somebody that has these qualifications. You have to get real specific. Just like you have a business plan, you have to have a business contingency plan, meaning how would this business continue after the CEO's demise or death?
Yes.
You got to keep a certain amount of stake into your business as well, right? I know a lot of people have either 100%, but if you have a partnership, you got to decide, is it going to be like 70-30? Is it 51-49? What is it going to be? And how is that going to affect your business if your partner dies? If your spouse dies, if your business partner died, like how is that going to affect your business? How is that going to affect the business contingency? Is the partner's family going to try to fight you for the business because they think that the business is making X amount of dollars and the business might have been failing?
Yeah.
You never know what's really going on until you see someone's books or you see someone's family, that somebody was a millionaire or a billionaire and they're fighting over money with people that had nothing to do with the business because they didn't sit down and write this plan out. So we have to think about those things, especially when we bringing people on, when we're starting to train people and hire people for different positions and roles, and we're showing them things because we think that it's going to help us as the business owner. But these people, like you said, the feelings start to get involved. Things start to get weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, you teaching me a little bit, but everybody's still looking for you. Everybody's still calling for you. Everybody still wants you to do their taxes. And I always say, hey, okay, so what are you doing differently for them to want to go with you?
That's so
Are
true.
you delivering the same service standard that I'm delivering? Are you responsive? Are you communicative to your clients? Are you showing them how you want them to communicate with you? If you don't want them texting you, you need to let them know, hey, Yvette, the best form of communication for me is email.
Mm-hmm.
You can DM me all day, but once you become a client, you have to email me. I'm not just answering DMs. A DM is probably for potential, right? I don't want to just not answer your question, and it might just be a question for clarity or something like that. So you need to know how to communicate effectively, how to build your team up to communicate effectively. If it requires you to invest in training for your team, then invest in training for your team. I had someone give me constructive criticism and told me, hey, a lot of people just don't teach like you. So I would just prefer to go under you and you teach me whatever it is that you need me to learn, right? And not push me off on somebody else that's on your team because I learn better from you, right? Or you're more hands-on than this person, or you're more understanding than this person, or whatever the case may be. That feedback is needed, right? Ask your client, hey, is this good? Has everything gone well with you? Hey, did you get my email? That I asked you about, leaving us a remark or a survey, leaving us a review, send us a text message of the new product that you received. If you got some merch from us, send us a selfie with the merch or send us an unboxing video, things like that, just letting them know, hey, I can be a participant in this business. I feel like I'm at home when I go to Carter Capital. I feel like I know everybody. I can call people by name. People know my assistants by name because, I know I get emails from this person all the time. Or I see this person posting on social media all the time. Are you making yourself known? Right? Because if you work at Walgreens and I see you in a Walgreens uniform, I'm going to automatically know you work at Walgreens. But I'm not going to know if you're the friendly cashier at Walgreens or you the mad pharmacist in the back, mad because you overloaded with prescriptions that you have to fill in 30 minutes or whatever, right? I'm not going to know any of that until I actually talk to you or you actually direct me in some way. I'm not going to know any of that just by looking at you. Or just by Walgreens saying, hey, this is Yvette.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Shondricka, right? You have to know that. You have to build that rapport in order for people to say, I want her.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand like how valuable communication is. And when you express yourself and let a person know how you feel, what you want, you may get exactly that when you actually let that person know your standards. As far as like you being an accountant, I love the fact that you do communicate and let things be clear for your clients to understand. And if they don't understand, you're going to help them understand.
Yes.
Yes, especially I could tell you be on them heavy too.
I'm like, oh no, I just talked about this. Listen, we have a podcast that's going to give you like, my podcast is literally like mini masterclasses. You can literally take your notebook out and run it like a series. Binge listen to the podcast. I love podcasts. And that was one of the things that kind of inspired me to just get into it because I'm like, I'm so quiet. I got stuff to say. Yeah. And I know some people that got stuff to say too. So I'm going to invite them on and we're going to talk. And that's literally what I did. I really didn't have a plan for it. I started picking up the plan later as it went on and I was getting higher, bigger guests. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, okay, so I need a plan. Okay, this person is in for questions ahead of time. Some people don't like to wing it. Some people just don't, they like stuff to be in order and organized in the flow and stuff like that. So I had to have that set up for those clients. And then Some people we can just roll with it. The chemistry is just there, right?
Right.
So it just depends on the type of person that you're talking to. You like I said, communication is key. Some people love to email. Some people like to pick up the phone. So you have to just kind of know your client and build that client avatar up. I want to build a business where I can get on the phone with all of my clients. But if your business grows to a level where you're serving thousands and thousands of clients, you may not be able to pick up the phone for every client, right? So as your business grows, you should be able to grow too and say, okay, it's time to hire somebody specifically for phones. They have to have customer service experience. They have to have data entry experience, because I want notes, detailed notes on what happened during this conversation, right? Was it good? Did it go left? Did the person disrespect you? I need to know, because disrespect is not tolerated over here, right? And so on no end, right? Not from the client's end and not from my employees' end. I'm going to handle it, right? Right then and there. I'm not going to pick sides. I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I know my employee did. No, just like the big companies, guess what? We record our conversations at the hello.
Yes.
Right? So we already know that my emails are going through there. There's communication. My phone calls are recorded, so I can send you this call and show how you was already irate when you called. Mm-hmm. Or I have text message marketing that goes in and out. Clients can text us back and forth. They can enroll in our programs through text. And then, of course, we have our website that explains all of our programs, services, and products. But absolutely, communication is the key.
It is.
Like, literally, I told my virtual assistants when I first hired them, I said, please, I said, this is my pet peeve, y'all. Please do not say, okay, you own it or you understand something and you don't. Because I can literally stop right here and explain it further, or we can do some examples. I want to make sure that you have it before saying, oh, they got it, and just throwing work on you. Mm-hmm. Same thing with taxes. I want to make sure that we have gone through at least 40 to 60 practice returns before you're out in the field with the real software and promoting that you're an expert. You're not an expert yet. You just started. You might be registered or certified, but you're not an expert until you've done this enough times that you can articulate it well to your client, no matter the situation. And that's where I am. Even me being an expert, I'm still learning every single day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Every single day. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's new.
That's good though. So tell me, you also help your clients and whomever that will come in, you help them with establishing their personal credit and business credit. Can you let us know about that process?
Absolutely. So my personal credit program is a 3-month program. It's $525. What we do is not only just take all of the negative items off, because if I do that, let me explain to you what happens. No credit is bad credit. Bad credit means you're going to be paying higher interest. It means you're going to be denied. You're going to get a whole bunch of inquiries for stuff that you're not getting approved for, right? So we need to find out what's the root of the problem. Do you have negative items on here? Do you have incorrect items on here that's affecting your credit? Is it just a matter of student loans that you have not paid and have not communicated with the lender and told them, hey, I'm either going through a hardship, I'm not in school anymore, I'm back in school, I don't owe these loans yet? What is it going on in your life that you can communicate with your bank? Because banks, creditors, student loans all have hardship programs. Yeah. But if you're just the person that's not answering the phone, you ducking and dodging their calls, that's what they're going to take it as, right? You ducking and dodging. Now, the fine print that you don't read on the back of those credit cards or on those applications is we can sue you for this debt. We can take you to court. We can put liens on your properties, your houses, whatever, right? You're not reading all of that. You just like, oh, I got approved. Let me sign off. But the moment that you cannot make that minimum payment or the moment that you skip a payment, your credit plummets down. So right. I'm just basically trying to get you educated on the credit side, not just enroll you in a program. I want to enroll you and make you get your credit, because you know the credit limits changed. It goes all the way up to $990. It doesn't stop at $850 anymore, right? So people thinking, oh, I got a 600, I'm still good. Or I got a 500, 580 or whatever. You know, a lot of lenders and realtors say you can get a house with a 580. You can, but you're going to have a higher interest rate. You're not going to qualify for certain programs that higher credit limits do qualify for. So I always just educate people around the different scenarios of why you want a higher credit score. 600 is average now. It's not even good anymore like it used to be, right? On a scale when it was like 3 something to 850, you were still good at a 6 because you're like median. Okay. But now you have to be at like a 7 or above to even say I have good credit. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, just think about, if you cannot afford to purchase it, do not swipe that credit card for it.
That's so true.
If you can't afford to purchase it right now today, like I would literally swipe my card today and go pay it off as soon as it stops pending on my credit card. That's using it responsibly, or paying most of it down and leaving a little bit on there so I can show some utilization, right? So just playing that game because it's a paper trail game. Right. So just playing that game of making sure that you're able to put money in, swipe the money and pay it back responsibly. You know what I'm saying? So just thinking about it that way. And okay, Yvette loaned me $200. I'm going to give Yvette $220 back.
Girl, that part.
Within a certain amount of time. So just leveraging that is what you're doing when it comes to personal credit.
Yes, that is so true. So what about business credit? Because it's a difference in that. And a lot of people, sometimes they either apply for business credit with their social security number. And some of them even apply for business credit with their EIN number.
So you can apply for business credit. Now, the only thing I would say is if you have a great personal credit score, you can PG a lot of things for your business and you can leverage it faster. If you're in a struggle level with your personal credit, then you need to make sure that your business is structured in the right way. So meaning you have to have a commercial address, you have to have that LLC, that EIN number, that DUNS number, that website, those policies and procedures, a business address. If you're a home-based business, making sure you have a virtual address or a commercial address. So if you have an actual storefront or office front, that's a commercial address, right? But if you're at home and you're a home-based business and you're trying to get that home-based tax deduction and all of those things, you don't want your home address plastered all over the internet where clients can find out where you live, where creditors can find out where you live. You got to go ahead and secure that virtual address, which helps you show up as a corporate entity.
Yeah.
So you're showing up as a bigger company to them. And they're like, oh, okay, I see Life Heard Podcast headquarters is XYZ, right? They see your name in lights when they find your business, when they Google your business, right? Having that Google My Business 411 profile, having a Manta profile, a Yelp profile, right? Letting people know that they can find you on all of these different platforms. There's reviews here to show that your work and your integrity in your business is, valid, right? The validity of your business is there. Just showing people those different things and components of your business. That is what the creditors are looking for. If you are applying for a business credit and you have your social security number on there, you have your home address on there, you have a cell phone number on there, you're most likely going to be declined.
Yep.
Because it's all about your business. They don't want to know anything about you unless your business credit has not been established yet. So most of the time people start with what we call net 30s, meaning that you will order something and they give you 30 days to pay it back. So business credit is easier to establish than personal credit. Personal credit, you got to do the back and forth a little bit sometimes. And if you already messed it up, you got to come back and try to correct some things, get those old addresses off, dispute some things that you may have paid off and it may still be sitting on your credit. Some things by law may not supposed to be on your credit, such as medical bills, right? And there's some laws that protect you as a consumer, but you don't know them. So that's when you hire professionals to help you and come in and change some things or change your situation for you. But definitely business credit is great. There's tiers 1 through 8. So our business credit program is also 3 months. We literally set up your business credit profile for you. All we ask is that you have your structure already. If you don't have a DUNS number, that's no big deal. We can get the DUNS number as well for you. But it's a 90-day program. And you pay monthly or you can pay in full. It's completely up to you as the business owner, what your budget says. And we set up all of your net 30 accounts. From net 30, we move you up to tier 2. We start to get you gas cards. We start to get you approved for SAMs and all of those other things. Or sometimes we'll tell you, okay, you can go into this place and apply. And when you do get approved, come back, show us the results and things like that. So we do a lot of it on our end, but things that you're able to do, we give you that responsibility and say, oh, Yvette, it's time for you. You've graduated to tier 2. Go ahead and apply for that Sam's card. Go ahead and get that Floor and Decor, that Lowe's, that JCPenney. Now you can go ahead and apply for a corporate apartment and get your Airbnb business started that we talked about a few months ago. Right now, you can go ahead and get that Benz, that G-Wagon in your business name. Go talk to XYZ at Benz, right? I'm gonna send you literally the plug and say, go ahead and talk to this person at this dealership, whether it's for, or you're trying to get a trucking company started. Okay, here's where you need to start your fleet at. Go here and go talk to this person, and we need to set up this. Go to the DMV, get your numbers done and all of those things, right? But just literally putting you in the right direction for the funding and making sure that when you leave our funding program, you have at least 12 to 20 accounts already set up.
Yes. So for your business program that you have, how much is that one?
That one is $3,000. We also have a business credit accelerator course where I literally walk you through how to fill out the applications, and that's only $500.
Okay, that is amazing because we had a few people asking how much did that cost.
Yes, it's $3,000, so it'll be $1,000 a month.
Okay. From a lot of people, could you share one of the testimonies of individuals? Because I have a lot of business owners that do watch the podcast a lot. What is some of the testimonies that you have helped them as far as their business credit and them being able to have lucrative things and making sure everything is in order for their business overall? Because you can't just have a LLC and an EIN and especially business credit tomorrow. You got to have things behind that.
Yes. So like I said before, making sure that you have your things in order as far as, of course, the LLC, if that's your business structure, of course, the EIN number, but also having that toll-free number, also having that
virtual
business address, address, right? And also having a bankable business, meaning you have a bank account that you can show, hey, I'm looking for funding. Here is my income account. I'm not showing you all of the expenses that I spend on this business. I'm showing you my income account, everything, all money in, right? I'm showing you these things. So now when I come to you for funding, I'm like, oh, okay, I see that you have $500,000 that then came in over the past 6 months. So now you qualify for X amount of funding, right? I literally had a client that DM'd me the other day, and she was like, I need some funding. I literally sent her a list because I know her business. I know her income. I do her bookkeeping monthly. And I said, okay, let me call a bank for you real quick. And I'm going to have the banker to call you, right? Her name is Danielle. So I'm like, I'm going to have Danielle call you. I text Danielle. I was like, hey, I have a client. She is a hairstylist. She is looking for business funding, maybe around 20 to 30,000, right? She was like, okay, no problem, Drika. Have her call me, or do you want to give me her information? It's that simple because I know this person was already ready for funding. I can pick up the phone and use my relationship to vouch for this person and get them like on a fast track to funding, right? Because they know that anybody that I'm sending, they either already got set up through me. I set up their LLC. I might be doing a bookkeeping. If they need anything else, they can come to me. They can get the CPA letter or whatever, right, that they need for me to help them. And also I'm building that relationship with the bank, referring them another client, right? Another bankable business, a small business, because your bank has programs too. It's not always about looking on the outside, but your bank has programs. They have, if you can't afford, or if you're not ready for a credit card, your bank can give you a line of credit. It's just like a credit card, right? But you're just pulling that money from your line of credit and putting it into your bank account, and you can pay that money back to, through your bank account to your line of credit. Literally, you're just swapping the funds. It's like transferring money, but it's building your credit up. And so one of the things that my favorite bank is Fidelity, and that's here in Louisiana. And so I always tell women to definitely go to Fidelity Bank, especially if you're in Louisiana, and get a power account and build that relationship with the bank. They will literally have you on their directory. So if anybody is looking for your services, they can find you on a bank directory. They'll have you on their podcast so you can get more exposure for your business. It's things that your bank is out here doing that you're not taking advantage of because you only went to the bank that one time to open your account. You never went back and said, hey, branch manager, this is my goal. I want to open a strip mall. I want to get a suite eventually. I'm working from home right now, but I want a suite next year, or I want an office location next year, or I want a commercial space next year. And I know most commercial space either rent for 3 to 5 years. If you're not ready and prepared, if you don't have 3 to 5 years of income already coming in, you can't say, I'm going to pay next month's rent when I make next month's money.
No.
Right? You have to think about it ahead of time. They're coming in the game already, letting you know you're going to be here for 3 to 5 years if you're coming into this commercial space. So you got to pay attention to what kind of game you want to play. And that goes back again to taxes, because when it comes to purchasing, they're looking at your taxes. And if you're writing everything off,
yeah,
you can't afford anything. You're appearing that you're broke, or you're appearing that your business is broke, basically. So you want to make sure that your business is fundable. So if they're asking for taxes, if they're asking for bank statements, you want to be able to show these things and show that your business is fundable or ready for funding.
Wow. Girl, you know you be dropping them gems. For real, because I was watching a lot of your videos on YouTube, and I'm sitting here like, man, she is dropping gems, and people, you know, that's like a person lazy to read a book.
Yes.
You lazy to lay here and like literally just watch this. You could just chill or wash dishes, watching it, cook and listen, you know,
yes,
different things, but you drop so many gems to a point.
Thank you.
Already giving out so much information that people literally pay for a consultation.
Yep. Literally, a young lady said, I bought my house based off the free gems that you give. Yes. I didn't even have to enroll in none of your programs. I didn't have to get on none of your classes. I hopped on every live you did, and I actually purchased my first home. That's a testimonial. I have clients that started with me from day one that have started their businesses, got their LLCs, got their business credit up and running, and they are still around and building sustainable brands right now. So, you know that what I mean? That's what I'm saying about building wealth. It's not just about getting to the bag. You can get to the bag any day. You can hustle your way to 6 figures, but to get to 7, you need a strategy. You need a reputable clientele. You need clientele that's going to grow with you, because you don't want to outgrow your clients. And you know, everybody talking about the price is the price and the price going up and all of these things. But is your experience going up? Is the value going up? Are you learning new things that you can bring to your community? Do you have the know, like, and trust factor? Can you build the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. Do people feel like I'm missing out if I don't come to this person's live? I literally, if I don't go live, I usually go live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But if I don't have a guest, sometimes I still go on my own and just go live and just drop some things. But most of the time, I like to do it with my guests. And so if I don't have a guest, sometimes I just take my break, right? And so I would have somebody come to my inbox or text me the next day and say, man, I'm missing your lives, but I'm going to catch up on the old ones. I'm going to rewatch or re-listen to some old ones, just because I need you to motivate me today. Or I needed to hear from you. Why you ain't? And that will make me say, okay, I'm about to do a pop-up live or something like that, because people are really looking, because they're like, oh, did you go live? Did I miss it? Are you posting it later? They already are waiting for me to come in and tell them what's the next thing to do, what's the next steps, what we should be doing, where they should be, and after, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3. So I pride myself on trying to come back and give to the community. Or I always, even if I invest into a high ticket program or a coach or something, I'm bringing it back to my community and letting them know, hey, did y'all know this? Y'all, like, I know we've been talking about this, but pivot. We need to start doing this, because listen, somebody wealthier than me told me to do this play by play, and I'm about to run it with y'all.
So we have a question. Someone said, I thought the key is to write off your business expenses.
So the key is not to write off your business expenses. You can write off, I'm not saying don't write anything off. You can write off some things, but you don't want to write off so much that your net profit is in the negatives. So the key is, if you're looking, this your homework too. You can go look at your old tax return from this year, 2021, and look at your Schedule C 1040, which is going to say profit and loss Schedule C at the top of that page, and go down to line 31 and make sure that it doesn't have parentheses around it. If that line 31 has parentheses around it, it's showing that your business is having negative income. meaning you made 20,000, but you wrote off 80,000. Right? So you're negative 60,000, meaning this is how you got that refund that you got. This is how you were able to get these credits, because you're showing that your business is not making money. So you can write off things, but make sure, I usually say use the depreciable assets. So for instance, if you bought a computer, if you bought a new phone, if you bought a new car, you can write off the tax, title, and license. But the main thing is you're going to take the standard deduction if your itemized deductions is not more than the standard deduction. So for instance, if your standard deduction is, let's say, 25,000 this year, right? If that's your standard deduction, if your itemized deductions, meaning your uniforms, gas, inventory, advertising, marketing, tax prep fees, all of those things are not more than that 25,000, or depending on your filing status, then you're going to use the standard. They're not even going to write off all of those deductions anyway.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what is this event that you have coming up soon? Because I think it's pretty dope that you having a wealth development summit in Toronto.
Yes. So let me tell you the history, because listen, my first year doing the Wealth Development Summit, I literally did it because I did a pitch competition, right? And it was literally like, oh, you told me no, I'm about to do it anyway. It was like one of those things. So I did a pitch competition, and I didn't really like lose, but I got second place. So I was shooting for $10,000, but I won $2,500. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the $2,500, and I'm a bootstrap. I'm a bootstrap the rest, right? So I'm gonna pay the rest of my money for it. So that's what I did. I rented out a huge mansion. I rented out a charter bus. I had everybody meet up at a remote location, hop on a charter bus. I had booked photographers, videographers, insurance lady, the bank, Fidelity Bank came out. I had, who else I had? Myself, I had my marketing team, Iconic Minds. I had my brand manager at the time, Innovative Campaigns on a panel. I had my brand designer, like, see this backdrop right here? She does all of that.
Nice.
The Viva brand, she was there. I had who else I had? Duplessis Digital was there for the first year. I had a whole bunch of people there talking about marketing, branding, the importance of it. Listen, for a startup business, imagine being in a room with all of these people, and it's like, man, I'm getting all this. It was like information overload. They got 3 square meals a day. They got left with headshots, professional photos. I told them to bring changing clothes, because y'all are going to leave here with professional photos. Y'all going to leave here with y'all own commercial that you can use and replay and run ads on and make money. I'm literally giving it to you. It was completely free. Wow. That year. The next year, I said, I inboxed, I text my team. We had a whole group message. I said, y'all, next year we taking this thing on the road. So year 2 was Texas and Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Same concept, but we had a few different speakers there that year. We invited somebody for life insurance, because we realized as business owners, people are, ignorant to it. We just don't know about it. And so I thought that was an important component. So I invited Trellis from Atlanta, Lady Finance, if y'all know about her. But she came in and spoke, lit the room on fire about life insurance. Got a couple of people signed up for life insurance. Got a couple of people signed up to even start selling life insurance just from the Wealth Development Summit, right? And so at that time, it wasn't really called a Wealth Development Summit. It was just in the making. We were literally, the concept was to go to places that start with a T and call it Texas in whatever. So that year was Texas in Tennessee. And that was like a 3-day event. We literally rented out the entire hotel, had everybody there. I had a makeup team there. I had some lady. We did yoga every morning.
Wow.
We had nightlife. We drank moonshine. It was literally lit. Like, we had fun. We learned, and then we still turned up. And so the following year, we was like, okay, I was like, listen, we're going to continue to take this thing on the road, but we got to go big, y'all. Like, I ain't even know. For me, it's just something that's like in me. And I'm like, we got to go big. Y'all down or y'all not? Because I'm going to do it regardless. But I just need to know if y'all with me. And so they was like, yeah, I'm with you. What we doing? So I'm like, all right. We going big. We going to Tulum. So that was this year. We took it to Tulum. That was year 3. Of course, the same people were on the panel, but I got into Airbnb, and so I started to I invited my Airbnb coach. So we were able to bring our Airbnb coach to Tulum to teach people how to get their own Airbnbs. Left Tulum within 2 weeks. About 5 to 7 people had new Airbnbs. So coming to this event helped you start a whole new stream of income. No matter what you were doing, you started a whole new stream of passive income doing an Airbnb, getting an LLC, getting that website up, getting your unit listed on all these different platforms, all of that. I'm like, okay, so what else can I add? I went to another summit in New Orleans in February of this year. It was called Black Wealth Weekend. And I met a government contract employee, well, a government contractor, which is Jason White. I don't know if y'all heard of Jason White, but he is the government contractor GOAT. So I'm like, I like what you're talking about. I said, Jason, I'm having an event in Tulum this summer. Would you mind being on a panel? He was like, yes, let me know what to do. We had our meetings, of course, and all of those things. Came to Tulum, taught government contracting on the spot, like literally pull your computer out, write this down, go to this link, go to this, go to that, get set up right now and start making this middleman money. So this year it was more about adding structure and passive income. So whatever you're doing, perfect that, but you also need to be making income that you're not having to work for. And like I said, in a bakery, I had to work for it. So I'm like, if I was able to move out of the realm of having to be materially invested to make 6 figures, I can do the same thing making passive income, right? And that's what I did. So definitely want to bring that to the forefront. I also invited Karita Cloud, which is my scaling coach. She was able to help me scale my business, scale just this part of my business with the World Development Summit. We were able to look at the profit and loss statements, look at how much we were making, look at if the prices of the levels needed to go up, look at how much we were paying our panelists, what we were covering for our panelists, and how much was my net profit at the end of the day and things like that. So she was on the stage talking about systems, from booking systems to payment processing systems to employee, HR, everything, all things systems and scaling. It was her, right? So she took the stage by storm, of course, and then everybody else that was already on the stage from the previous 2 years, I gave everybody plaques and let them know our appreciation. I had Goldie come out, Goldie Lambert. She is the owner of NOLA Black Wall Street. And she talked about life insurance and social media. I had Dr. Lauren Elise. She's a social media influencer. She sells some of her gently used luxury items and stuff like that on consignment. She has like all kind of social media, nonprofit stuff that she does as well. Showed everybody like how to become an influencer, how to work with an influencer and those types of things as well. And then I had the Numbers Law Firm, which is my lawyers, my legal team, which is Ryan and Osei. They're from New York, but they are attorneys, right? They can teach you about business law, right? Talking about contracts, talking about trademarks, talking about copyrights, things that we don't pay attention to. We just think about the LLC and the EIN, but that's not going to get you to wealth, right? So I definitely wanted to let people talk up close and personal with the legal team, where you're always afraid or don't want to have that conversation. They broke everything down to you, and they were all accessible. Everybody stayed for questions, took pictures. It was just amazing. So this year, our panel is a little bit smaller, and so is our group. We're only accepting 20 women and 20 men. We have 4 panelists. 3 confirmed right now. I'm waiting on one more guy to confirm, but I will announce the speakers. Of course, Justin is coming back. Karita is coming back, and because they were most requested. So Airbnb, Justin, Karita, systems and scaling. And then, of course, myself and my husband talking about wealth and wellness. He's a trainer and also a trucking company owner. So we're going to be talking about some of those things, like how to get in the trucking industry, how to get in the Airbnb industry, how to scale and systemize your business, more government contracts. We're not bringing Jason back, but we're bringing somebody else in the government contracting realm back. And we have 2 levels. One is just the general admission ticket level. And then we have the all-inclusive, meaning your flight, your lodging, your stay, your meals, all 3 days of the conference. It's going to be carnival time out there in Toronto when we go. So we're going to experience that. We're going to go to excursions, of course. Like if you just search the last 2 years, Texas and Tennessee hashtags on social media, you'll see all of our pictures, the red carpet interviews, all of those things that we had in place. If you search Texas and Tulum hashtag, you'll see everything that we did this year. Like we did ATVs. We just get into everything that whatever city or state that we have to go to, we get into whatever they have to offer. We did nightlife. We had sections. We was popping bottles in Tulum. We would listen and got right back up and got on this computer and listened to everybody that was on that stage. It literally was like the trip of a dream. It was nothing like just work, and just sitting there listening to a conference and then go and explore the city on your own. Nope. We literally had everybody all together. We did rooftop parties. Like it's so much fun. Just go look up the hashtags and you'll see everything.
Wow, that is amazing. That is really dope. See, you doing it, girl.
Thank you.
You got to tell where your blessings come from too. It's just the fact of helping people.
It is.
Yes. So can you let people know how to contact you, how to be able to even become their accountant or help them with business credit, whatever, because you do a lot to help individuals get further ahead in their personal life and business.
Absolutely. So the best way would be to download our mobile app. We have giveaways throughout the rest of the year going on only exclusively for people who have downloaded our mobile app. Our mobile app is Carter Capital PLLC. It's available on Android and Apple. And I'm going to just show y'all what it looks like.
Okay.
So, of course, my logo is on it. And it's going to ask you for like the disclaimer. Oh, I'm moving away. All right, this is our app. And it's going to show you if you want to file your return, if you want to contact us, book an appointment, or just see our staff. You'll be able to see our lovely staff in their pictures here. And scroll down, you'll see everybody on here. That's like my COO, my director of operations, my credit operations manager, and so on and so forth. That's one of my assistants. And then everybody else is credit or tax professionals that can actually help you. Another thing on the mobile app is once you click these 3 lines at the top, you can definitely check your where's my refund. So if we filed your taxes, you can go here and check on your refund. Just like on the IRS website, you can check on that. You can submit additional forms on here. You can book any of our, you can follow us on social media. Just choose follow Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whichever. You can join our free Facebook group, which is Carter Capital PLLC. It's a Facebook group. We drop gems in that every single day on business, credit, taxes, personal credit, or just business in general. So we definitely drop gems there every day. If you are interested in bookkeeping, business credit, or enrolling in our college courses, you can do all of that from the app. If you want to call or text us, you can hit us up at 855-446-5050. If you are ready to purchase any merch, books, or anything like that, you can go directly to our website, which is also cartercapitalpllc.com. So whichever way is easier for you, you can definitely go about getting in contact with us that way. If you just Google Carter Capital PLLC, all of this will still pop up because you can Google us, okay? So everything will pop up. Some of my old interviews will pop up. My bank directory page will pop up with Fidelity. My website will pop up. Our mobile app, our Instagram pages, all of those things will pop up. And I do have my new website, shondrickaccarter.com. It just launched. So if you want to work with me as a mentee, mentor, one-on-one or group, you can apply for one-on-one. You can just pay to be in a group, and that is $50 a month. So if you just want access to me, we have courses in our group that have experienced professionals come in and talk about certain things that we need, such as life insurance, such as content, such as business insurance, taxes, credit, business credit. I drop ebooks and files and stuff like that. Sometimes I drop grant lists in there, and then you can just use my grants playbook to apply for the grants that apply to you. tidbit real quick, when you're looking at grants or thinking about applying for grants, make sure that you qualify before just saying I'm applying for this grant, right? Because they're going to tell you what the qualifications are. Just read that first page before you even waste your time applying for the grant, because some things you just automatically don't qualify for. Some things is industry specific, so just read before going in and wasting your time to apply for grants.
Yes, ma'am. Shondricka, girl, we got to keep in contact.
Absolutely. This was great, Yvette.
It was great, even though Instagram was hating on us in the beginning. They wouldn't let us be great, but I'm definitely gonna keep in contact with you, because I'm gonna be starting group classes as well, and
Okay.
the information you provide is phenomenal, and a lot of people need to hear it and
Right.
and need your services.
Absolutely. I hear you. It sounds like a collaboration coming on.
Girl, yes, because I have a lot going on too, as far as like with my businesses and everything. I have like four, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a lot of information that we have as business owners. I've been in it for 14 years now,
Okay.
and it's a lot. And
Congratulations. 14 years is good.
thank you.
That's
Thank
great. That is amazing. People can't make it past two, girl. I'm like,
girl, I
whew,
barely. But one thing I can
barely.
what felt good was that 10th year, it bring out another side of you.
Man, listen, I know next year gonna be relentless. Like I was telling my team in my annual meeting, and I said, listen, this year is about visibility. This year is about exclusivity. But next year is
Yes,
about relentlessness. Like
girl.
I'm on a mission,
Yes.
and anybody that's not with me or not rolling with me, you just gonna have to see me on the other side, because now I can't look back. I can't stop. It's something like I just literally can't. I'm always thinking about the next thing. I'm always thinking about the
Yeah.
next level. I'm always thinking about how I can help the next person get to the next level with me. Right. So yeah, I definitely cannot wait for year 10 and see year 10, we gonna win.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's all we gonna do. Well, have a good night. I know you ready to lay down or be busy, do
I'm
whatever.
literally about to go to a meeting and go eat.
That's all I'm about to go eat.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. All right, Drinka. Have a good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you for
Thank
tuning
you.
in.